Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Continuing on the topic of zakah. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال لما توفي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وكان أبو بكر رضي الله عنه. So Abu Huraira says that when the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, when he passed away, and Abu Bakr became the Khalifa, وَكَفَرَ مَنْ كَفَرَ مِنَ الْعَرَبِ, and the people who disbelieved amongst the ones who disbelieved from the Arabs, there were people who basically said, we don't want to be identifying as Muslims anymore. It's not that they went back to idol worshipping or something like that, but there were some people who, after the Messenger of Allah died, he passed away, there was a vacuum of leadership, deciding who was going to be the next leader. So some of the tribes said, we don't want to be part of this anymore. فقال عمر رضي الله عنه كيف تقاتل الناس. So Umar went to Abu Bakr when he was the Khalifa, and he's challenging him. And he's saying, how can you fight the people over this issue? So there was two issues made. The main issue was the tribes didn't want to pay zakat to the Muslim state. And that is like a rejection and violation of Islam. Some people said, we don't want to be identified as Muslim. Some of them said, we don't want to pay zakah to this new Khalifa. وَقَدْ قَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ أُمِرْتُ أَنْ أُقَاتِلَ النَّاسَ حَتَّى يَقُولُوا لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So Umar is trying to convince Abu Bakr and saying, listen, we shouldn't get ourselves involved in any type of battle or war, especially right now. The Messenger of Allah said, I have been ordered to fight people until they say La ilaha illallah. فَمَنْ قَالَهَا فَقَدْ عَصَمَ مِنِّي مَالَهُ وَنَفْسَهُ إِلَّا بِحَقِّهِ. And anyone who accepts that, we need to stop fighting them, and their wealth is protected, their lives are protected, except by some right, like if they commit a murder or something like that. وَحِسَابُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ, and their judgment will be with Allah. فَقَالَ Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr's response to that was, وَاللَّهِ لَأُقَاتِلَنَّ مَنْ فَرَّقَ بَيْنَ الصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ. He said, I will fight anyone who differentiates between salah, between prayer, and zakah. Meaning somebody who says that, yeah, we're going to pray, and prayer is an obligation, but zakah is not an obligation. It doesn't need to be paid. He says, I'm willing to fight that person because that's not what the hadith meant. فَإِنَّ الزَّكَاةَ حَقُّ الْمَالِ. He says, because zakah is the right of the wealth that needs to be given out. And I'll complete the rest of the hadith tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, but this shows you something very important. It shows you that zakah is something so significant, so important, it became a differentiating factor between people who are Muslim and people who don't want to be Muslim. In the time of Abu Bakr, right after the Prophet ﷺ passed away. And Abu Bakr took a firm stance on this, and everyone later on realized that his stance was the correct stance. Even though Umar was saying we should be a little bit soft. Usually you think it's the other way around, right? Usually you think Umar is the one who's going to be the tough guy, and Abu Bakr is going to be the soft guy. But what happened was, when the Messenger of Allah passed away, when Abu Bakr became Khalifa, situation flipped. Abu Bakr realized that, hey, we're in a bad situation. We need to be tough. And this important lesson too on the side is that sometimes it's better you have to be tough with some people because they won't learn. If Abu Bakr did not take this firm stance with people, we don't know what could have potentially happened in the Ummah when it was in chaos at the time, right after the death of the Messenger of Allah in the first year. You have all these people claiming to be false prophets and Musaylama, and you have so many other things happening. So this is an aspect of wisdom that he had. But the point here is regarding zakah. Zakah is such an important obligation. He made this beautiful statement. He says, anyone who differentiates between prayer and zakah, something is seriously, seriously wrong with the core of their understanding of Islam. And it's very problematic. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand the deeper implications of zakah and to be among the people who discharge their zakah in the correct way and in the right way that is pleasing to Allah. Ameen wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.